it's the Californian, not the Californians, the California. Where did the name come from?
The name came about, the first thing that ever happened in this band is I released this, I think it was like 10 or 11 songs of these really cheap demos that I recorded, and I didn't have any name for the project or anything, and the day before I released it, I recorded one last song in my bathroom, and I called the song The Californian, because that was sort of the subject matter, and I was like, oh, that's a great name for the project, which at the time I didn't think was going to be anything.
That's awesome.
And that was that. So I named the song, and then I named the band The Californian, or the project at the time. No one was in it. And that was just it.
And here we are.
It's been that since.
That's cool.
So.
That's awesome. So how long have you guys, as this quintet, missing the one person, of course?
Right.
How long has that been going?
Well, Jake's the latest. Like half a year?
It was October.
It was October? Oh, so, okay.
However long that is.
Other than that, John, you've been doing it for over 3 years.
God, has it been 3 years?
Totally, man. Yeah.
I quit.
Yeah. It's about time. Yeah, John's been around about 3 years. Darren's been over 2 years. So, and same with Mike, who's not here. So, roughly 2-ish years. So, somewhere in there.
So since then, have you guys gone through like any sort of changes in your musical interests, either as a group or individually, since you've been together as a band?
Interest, no. I think when I started it as like a solo thing, I think I was pretty scared to own a lot of the surf stuff that I wanted to do. And once the lineup of the band really started solidifying and everyone is really awesome at what they do, I felt safer to kind of go for it a little bit more. I think right around when you and Mike joined the band.
I was gonna say this man right here is a very good cook, and he invited me over to eat some food, and we were eating, and there was music playing in the background, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" And he's like, "Oh, I made some demos." I'm like, "Dude, it sounds amazing." We went in there and sat, and it was just like, I don't know what happened, but compared to the other music he was writing, this was just like in your face. Like so much more
yeah, it's a lot more in your face. That's a good way of putting it.
And no, it really like it caught my attention. You know, it wasn't just background music.
Right.
Definitely.
There are a lot of, I don't know if there's any more coming out right now, but like the last 2 years, there are about 180 billion like surfy bands.
Yeah.
But they weren't actually surfy. That's what's weird.
It's just the reverb.
It's just a lot of reverb. It was actually a lot of those bands I like. But they're not surf at all. They sound a lot more like girl groups from the 60s.
Yeah. I feel the
just
same way. It's
in
like,
different ways, and I think that's great. But a lot of people glommed onto calling it surf because there was just like loads of reverb on it.
And the snare drum hits. I feel like
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
something that people just go, oh, surf.
Yeah, it's kind of beachy. But it's kind of what I meant when Darren and Mike joined, and there were these fun guitar lines that are just inherently surfy that I really wanted to throw around here. And so, I don't know, aside from people who are like actual like surf bands and the whole surf band scene, I don't know a lot of people who are really doing a lot of that stuff in there. So, I think it's fun.
You guys have a full-length album coming out this month, or it's already out?
It's being mixed as we speak right now.
Exciting.
So it's it'll be available. That's a good question. Sometime over the next couple of months. So as soon as it's done, we'll start putting stuff out there for people to hear.
Where did you guys record?
We recorded. We did most of the album. We recorded over at a studio deep out in North Hollywood, in the middle of nowhere, called Dave's Room. It's a guy named Dave Bianco, and it's this beautiful old studio from the 70s that's just mind-blowing.
It's like Utopia.
It is like
Utopia.
recording Utopia, and we camped out there for about 4 days and did most everything. And then when that is done, we came back and recorded at our producer's house. So we finished up everything there, and he's there mixing right now. So
That's awesome. So what do you guys, are you just stoked to have it out, or are you already looking for the next one, or?
We'll be stoked to have it mixed.
yeah, we'll be stoked to have it finished.
That'll be a good
Very. I mean, there's songs. There's one song. The oldest songs on the album I think are a little over 2 years old. So that's really nice to see those things finally done and in there. And then there's 2 songs on the album also that are only a couple months old. And it's nice to have all of that just done and to finally have something, because we've been doing this for 2 years, and to finally have like a full album to show to people and for people to be able to hear is actually huge.
So going into making this album and coming out of it, did your thoughts about like the overall idea of it change? Are they the same? Is it somewhere? Did it go somewhere else that you didn't think it would go, or?
I don't think anything went somewhere we didn't think it would go.
I mean, we came straight off tour.
Yeah.
It was like straight from tour to pre-production to recording. So that was a pretty good idea, I feel like, of what everyone was going to do. There wasn't a lot of like surprises, or this song changed like great, like
Yeah.
threw that on its head or something like that. I think everything was pretty clear.
I think that's kind of what was nice about even making this album like that as well, is that we've been doing this for years and playing all these songs, and to kind of finally just be able to put it down, like record it and do, here's what we've been doing. If you haven't heard us over the last couple of years or don't know what this band is, here's what it is. So it's nice. I'm glad to hear it.
I'm sure it's a big relief.
It is a huge relief. It is.
And it's a fair representation of.
I think it's a
and
great
where we are
representation,
now.
yeah.
And if you said.
Here's your one track.
That's an interesting question.
Is it
From
different
the new album? Or from
from the new album?
Oh, that's tough.
That if they could hear one song on the new album, you'd have an idea of what the Californian is basically?
I know what I would say is the first
I
one.
think I know. What would you say?
You know what I would say.
I do?
You tell me what I would say. I bet you're right.
You would say the Barney Miller soundtrack.
Yeah, you.
That's not
Theme
right.
You would say The Whole World Died Dancing.
No, actually.
No.
I'm surprised. I thought you would have gotten it. So never mind.
Wow.
I was gonna
You
say.
think you know a guy?
Doesn't that come on?
No, come on. No, I would say Man with a Good Gun.
Really?
Um,
That shows what the Californian is?
I feel like it has a lot of different influence in there.
It
It's
does
kind
have
of
a lot
got
of
a little bit
different
of the dark
influences.
thing in there.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of the spaghetti western thing in there.
Yeah.
It's got some pretty harmonies in there.
Fluffy
Background
bunnies.
vocals. It's got kind of everything.
All
It's an
right.
amalgamation of all sections.
It's like a
Nice.
smorgasbord.
Hodgepodge.
It's,
Potpourri.
Oh yeah.
it's like a buffet.
People can hear it online, right? So.
People can hear it online right now,
Oh, yeah.
actually, on our
Awesome.
website, because we leaked our own early mix.
Exciting.
So-
Not on Facebook though.
No,
I didn't
it's-
see that on Facebook.
No,
Okay,
just
cool.
on our website. If you go to whoisthecalifornian.com.
But you can share it on Facebook.
Great
You can?
website.
Sure.
Oh yeah, you can. Let's share the
Yeah,
link.
click
Okay.
the little share button.
Cool. All
That's
right.
cool.
So, I would say
Awesome.
The Whole World Died Dancing. I think.
I think I'd agree with you.
I mean,
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah. Just to get an idea of what we generally do.
Mhm.
That's dark. I like that.
It's
So,
a great title.
Jake, anything?
I can agree with that, I guess.
All right.
I guess.
You should plug. What's the name of the girl from England that we've
Oh
been
yeah,
listening to?
dude,
Oh.
she's ridiculous. Well, she's
Speaking of pretty girls.
yeah. Speaking of pretty girls and good singers,
Who can
and
kill us
reverb.
all on guitar too.
Yeah, but
insane.
she's her name is Anna Clavey. I think I'm saying that
yeah,
right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I haven't been aware of her at all, and then I read an article on her a couple days ago, and I'm just freaking out.
Yeah.
She's the most ridiculous thing ever.
Yeah, I
And,
think I read an article like leading up to South by or something.
Yeah,
something
she
about
was.
Her.
Yeah, I guess she was supposed. I guess they had a whole big stink set up where she was going to come out and do South by and kind of blow up everywhere and play all these venues, but she had an arm injury, so it never happened. So she still hasn't kind of like come here to the States, and
Broken out. Over
yeah,
there.
people haven't really heard about her so much yet. But she's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
So there's a pretty girl singer, but she plays guitar like a
She can represent it.
yeah,
it's
like
like
a,
surf guitar too.
it's surfy.
legit.
It's sort of spaghetti westerny. There's even
Cool.
flamenco in there. It's very good.
Wow,
So yeah,
that's awesome.
so we should start a flamenco side project just to sort of.
I'll have to relearn.
Yeah, we'll call it the Gypsy Queen.
Yeah, the Spaniard.
Yes, that's perfect.
It's done.
Gypsy Queen.
That should be our acoustic sort of thing.
That's hilarious.
But-
That's a good idea. So you guys met her on tour?
No,
Or-
I just found out about her a couple days ago and I've been losing it. Just
That's awesome.
listening to it nonstop. So
So how was the first residency of the Satellite, or have you played two?
just one.
Just one. Okay, that's right. On Tuesdays.
Yeah, number two Mondays.
Mondays.
Number two is this upcoming Monday. It was great. we had some technical difficulties. We have a set with some set pieces that fell down during songs. But other than that, it was fun. It was really fun.
That's awesome.
A lot of dancing and shaking around and screaming.
Yeah, the crowd was really good.
Yeah, the crowd
That's
was insane.
awesome.
So let's hope that continues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna come out on Monday. I
Awesome.
didn't get to go this last time, but I'll totally be there.
Yeah.
There's also a nacho truck that comes.
That's true.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, nachos and ice cream
Kinda-
next week
kinda
too.
solidifies the whole experience.
Totally.
I think that's
in more ways than one.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh.
Or you mean liquefies it. Anyway, next question.
Anyway.
So what have you guys got planned after the satellite residency?
Sleep.
A lot of sleep.
A lot of sleep.
Yes. Well, by the time the satellite residency ends, we should have the record, and we'll start trying to get people to hear some of that. I don't think it'll be completely released yet, but
Okay.
we'll put some of that out. Trying to do some shows throughout the summer. You know, and we just did a tour with She Wants Revenge. Is it winter when we did that?
No, it was April.
It was April, okay. And we came straight off that into pre-production, and then into the studio, and then into the residency. We haven't really had a couple seconds to breathe and kind of think about what we want to do.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice, I think. So
Definitely.
I hate breathing and thinking.
If only there was
It's
a way I
overrated.
didn't have to do either of those things.
that's not the Californian way. We don't think in California. So yeah, I don't know. The summer, hopefully, we'll get some fun shows going, and we'll be around. So.
Is it hard to play a residency where you're playing the same place? It's kind of an unusual situation. Like, what's the plan going into your second night versus your first night? Total switch everything around, or?
Yeah, to try. I mean, it's weird. We did a residency, about half a year ago at a small bar over in Glendale that now closed. And it's interesting because for that one, Jake had just joined the band, and we hadn't had a lot of preparation time, and we literally did the same thing every single show. And that was fun. I think that actually went well, but we're trying this time to really switch it up for people. Because we got a lot more songs now, too, and we have the record finished. So we're trying to do it different, trying to sort of spread it out, and if anyone wants to come back, I don't want them to feel like they're just kind of watching the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I always
So-
wonder, the hardcore fans, what their experience is. Because I know I went to see Slaying Chickens a couple of times when they did their...
I'm friends with those guys.
Yeah,
Evan,
I think I saw on Facebook that we had that person comment, but when they did their Echo residency, I was really interested to see, because I went the first 2 weeks, and it was a totally different show.
Yeah.
Which was really cool, because I'm a big fan, and so I love seeing, what they can do, so
Yeah.
I always have to ask, because it's such an interesting setup and unusual situation.
Yeah, it's become such a norm in LA to set up these residencies, but it's weird. It is weird to think about that you're doing the same thing once a week.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of fun. It's nerve-wracking last week to try to set it up, and you have no idea what's going to happen. But I'm looking forward to Monday and improving some things and keeping some the same. All right.
Someone once told me they opened up the moon and found nothing but pictures of you inside. Never mind who it was shaking lives out on rugs, and who cares now that I know where you hide. It's not a big deal or anything urgent, but I heard the whole world that I was behind. Never mind who it was that told me this, because time's never been on our side anyway. months from the moon too high, and those who just never learn how to sit still. I'm at the blue wire, you meant to cut. I'm the red cake that both thought was so pretty, but the joke is on you. Said the dish to the spoon, there's no difference at all between you and the moon. I'm not that noise that you make when you're mad. I'm the dead silence you said that you never had. I'm the monster trapped in some forgotten lagoon. You're the only thing I know, girl in the moon.
Alright. I'm gonna end up screaming here. I need to breathe.
God.
Do that.
Alright. Are we good to go?
Smell like coffee?
Okay.
Alright. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, You can't forget about the pretty shit I promised you and gave it away. Someone who cares. You had your cake and ate mine too. Try to sit around in the cold though. You're like a rabid dog with no bone. You killed the lights and now you wanna cry, cry, cry. Don't even leave it closed, alright. They say the seeing is believing. Well, I can't even see you leaving. You killed the lights and now you wanna cry, cry, cry. We killed the light. We killed the light. We killed the lights. No.